Well, welcome everybody to Game 3 in the Baltimore Orioles 1988 potential long losing streak. They managed to lose the first 2 games at home to the Brewers. Now they travel to Municipal Stadium in Cleveland to take on the Cleveland Indians. It'll be a starting matchup of 2 lefties. On the mound for the Indians will be lefty Scott Bales. He has a record of 9-14 with a 4.90 ERA. On the mound for the Orioles will be Mark Thurman, 1-8 with a 4.58 ERA. And what I've also been able to do since the last game is I did sign up for the Strat-o-matic app to get the player card images. So for the players I don't have on the roster, I'm able to go pull them on the app, player card viewer app. So if needed, I'll have it. And that's the mistake I made in the first 2 games with as far as the lineups go. I had Mickey Tettleton as my backup catcher because that's the only card I had, but Mickey Tettleton did not join the Orioles until later in the season, so really he should not have been playing. So Carl Nichols will be the backup catcher if Terry Kennedy needs to be pinch hit for or pinch run for or just replaced in general. And then any other card I don't have, I'll have the image here. And then what I'll do is I'll roll the dice and leave this here sort of like this and roll the dice right here so you can see after I roll the dice I can show the image so you can see what's going on. All right, let's look at the starting lineups for both teams. First for the Orioles. Kind of the same lineup. Stone in left, Ripken in second, Ripken at short, Murray at first, Lynn in center, Sheets the DH, Shue, Kennedy, and Orsulak. And the viewer, I also am able to get the balk and wild pitch ratings and pass ball ratings that are the super advanced version. Kennedy is a PB2, and Thurman actually had zeros on both of his ratings. Defensively, he's a 3-19. All right, now for the Indians. Leading off will be Julio Franco at second, Willie Upshaw at first, Pat Towler the DH, Joe Carter in center, Brooke Jacoby at third, Corey Snyder in right, Mel Hall in left, Jay Bell at short, and Andy Allenson the catcher. And Andy Allenson is a PB2. Scott Bales a pitcher. He's got a 3 wild pitch rating and an 8 balk rating. So that could come into play for sure on some of these D20 checks. All right, so we are ready to get going here and see if the O's can get a victory or whether we go to a game 4. I'm kind of doing this little project. Well, it may not be a little project the way it's going. I'm doing with this project, coinciding it with the Mark Fidrich inside pitch replay from 1976. So I'm kind of going back and forth so they don't do one game all the time. Kind of want to maybe flip-flop them and keep things fresh. So and give people a chance to watch the previous games. So if you happen to be only interested in one of those, you can kind of watch a game. It gives you almost 2 days to watch a game before the next one. So you're up to speed. All right, Jeff Stone is going to lead off against Scott Bales. It's a lefty-on-lefty matchup. And Game 3 is now underway. And we get a 5-8. I didn't really need the 20 just then. All right, 5-8 on Bales. Let's look at 5-8 against the lefty. He flies to right. So Bales gets Stone to fly to right, 1 away. Brings up Bill Ripken. That is a 4-8. Ripken gets Bales against a righty on a 4-8. 1's a triple. Anything else is a single. It's a 20. So Billy Ripken with a 1-out single. Not really a threat to run. So they're going to leave him on base for Cal Ripken, but now the D20 will be invoked. Nothing on that 20. 6-6 for Bales. 1 is a in-home run chance. Anything else, it'll be a fly to right. So 5% chance for Ripken to homer. And he does not. He flies to right, so that's 2 down. I'll bring up Eddie Murray, switch hitter. He will be batting from the right-hand side, obviously, against Bales. Nothing on the 20. 4-11 against a righty is a ground ball first base X. That is Upshaw. He's a 3 E15. So a 3 and a 7. He will get to it. And it's a 13, and he is an E15 at the first baseman. E15, there is no 13, so Upshaw handles it with no problem, and down go the O's here in the first. Not looking good for the folks from Maryland. All right, so bottom of the first time, Mark Thurman be facing Julio Generisimo Franco, second baseman. 4-12 against a righty for Thurman is a ground ball back to Thurman. And that's one away. Brings up the first baseman, Willie Upshaw, lefty on lefty. 3-5 for Upshaw against a lefty is a single to right field. So Upshaw is aboard. Brings up the DH, Pat Tabler, against Thurman. Nothing on the 20. It's a 3-9 against the lefty. 3-9 is a ground ball third base A. And that is a 5-4-3 around the horn double play to end the inning. So Thurman faces the minimum thanks to that double play. And after one complete, we are scoreless here at Municipal Stadium, otherwise known as the Mistake by the Lake. And here is Fred Lynn. He will lead things off. 2-9 for Lynn against the lefty is a strikeout. So Lynn is retired. See if I can't move this to get more of the score sheet. Hopefully. All right, and still not losing anything on the cards. Here's Larry Sheets, the DH. Lefty on lefty against Bales. 6-5 for Bales against the lefty. 1-3 is a double. 4-20 is a single. So it's a single for Larry Sheets. He is aboard. He's definitely not a threat to run. Here's Rick Really Big Shoe. Turned that double play last time. Nothing on the 20. 5-9 for Bales against a righty. It's a ground ball second base C. So that will advance the runner as Sheets makes it over to second base. And something I forgot to do, I promised I was going to do it, but it's too late now because I've already started this game, is I erroneously only gave the Orioles 2 outs in the 9th inning in the previous game. So when this game is over, I'm going to pause the video, pull out the Milwaukee set, and play that game. So we'll get this straight. All right, here's Kennedy. He'll be leading off against, or he'll be hitting against Bales with 2 outs. 1-8 for Kennedy is a strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. So I knew there was something I forgot to do, and I couldn't remember what it was, but then it just hit me I was supposed to do that, and I kind of promised the person that brought it up I was going to do that, but then got everything set up and just kept going and forgot all about it. Didn't hit me until the 2nd inning, so we will get to that. All right, here's Joe Carter against Thurman. 1-9 for Carter against the lefty is a ballpark diamond shot. And for right-handers, it's a 1-10 at Municipal Stadium. And it's a 14, so he will fly to left. So Carter didn't get all of it. Brings up Brooke Jacoby, third baseman. 4-9 against Thurman. That's a split. 1-3 is a single. Anything else, he'll line to Ripken at short. It's a 2, so it does go in for a base hit for Jacoby. Brings up Corey Snyder. Corey Snyder, right fielder. Nothing on the 20. It's a 4-6. And that's a single to left field off of Thurman. So Jacoby will hold at second base with that ball to left field. Runners at first and second. 1 out for Mel Hall. We got a lefty against lefty matchup. Nothing on the 20. 1-7 is a strikeout. So 2 down. Brings up Jay Bell, shortstop. 1-8 for Bell against a lefty is a ground ball to short. And that's going to end the inning. So, nothing doing for the Indians here in the second. We go to the third, scoreless. Thought there'd be more runs than this on both sides. but the pitchers are holding up early. Here's Orsilac. 4-11 against Bales, a lefty. Fly ball left field X. That's Mel Hall. He's a 3-E-0. That's a 20, so he's going to catch it. So since it's E0, no threat of an error, it's a fly to left for 1 away. Back to the top of the order in Jeff Stone. 3-8 for Stone. He's going to pop it up to first. Upshaw takes care of it. 2 down for Bill Ripken. 1-6 for Ripken is a ground ball to third. And that's going to end the top of the third. So, nothing doing for the O's. We will go to bottom of the third. Here's Andy Allenson, 5-11 for Thurman against a righty. That is a ballpark single check, and for both righties and lefties, it's a 1 to an 11. That's a 14, so he's going to line to short. 1 away. Back to the top of the order for Julio Franco. 4-9 is a split chance. 1-3 is a single. 4-20 lines to Ripken. And he will line to Ripken. So 2 lineouts to short to start the bottom of the third. Brings up Willie Upshaw. Upshaw, 4-3 against a lefty is a ground ball first base X. That's Eddie Murray. Murray is a 2-E-18, so 20 he got it easily. Now check the error. It's a 13 and an E18 for a first baseman and a 13. There is no 13, so Murray will take it to the bag himself. And the inning's over. So 3 innings in the books, and neither team's able to dent the scoreboard. As we go to the fourth, and interestingly enough, Thurman was a spot reliever starter, so 5 is his point of weakness. Bales is 6. So we're at 4 now, so got to keep an eye on that. Now, Williamson did go 3 innings in his previous game, but actually on the calendar, the Orioles had an off day yesterday, so everybody's going to be available. So here is Ripken to lead off. The top of the fourth, 1-9 for Ripken is a walk. So leadoff walk. And Ripken see if he can get something started for Eddie Murray. First baseman. To 2, so that is a chance for either a pass ball or a balk. We'll roll the white die. That's a 4, so we're checking a pass ball on Allenson. His rating's a 2. And there is no pass ball, so we roll on. Murray, 6-11. Right-hander, switch hitter batting right. It's a ground ball shortstop X. That is Jay Bell. He's a 4-E-24, but that 4 and the 20 is a good play. That's going to be a possible double play. There's a 7, and he's an E-24. There is no 7, so it is a double play. 6-4-3. So the fact that that was a 20 on the D20 allowed him to get to that. Otherwise, it would have probably gotten through for a base hit. So, put the wrong guy up there. Lynn is actually the batter, not Tabler. So here's Lynn with 2 outs and the bases empty. 6-7 against a lefty is a walk. So that double play certainly helped bail. It kind of, pardon the pun, it bailed Bales out. And instead of having a couple guys on, just one guy on for Larry Sheets. It's a 3-11 for Sheets, and he's going to ground to third. Handled by Jacoby. And the inning's over. So we go to the bottom of the fourth. Still no score. As we roll along, Mark Thurman will face Pat Tabler. It's a 5-9 against Thurman, and that's a fly to center. 1 away, 5-10 would have been a home run chance, but 5-9 is just merely a fly to center. Here's Joe Carter. 110 for Carter, and that's a ballpark diamond shot. Again, it's a 1-10 for right-handers. And Carter did it. Joe Carter breaks the scoreboard, the silence on the scoreboard with a solo blast. And the Indians grab a 1-0 lead. And it could be here we go again for the Orioles. Here's Brooke Jacoby. 5-8 is a fly to left. 2 down for Corey Snyder. 5-12. Another ballpark diamond shot. And again, it's a 1-10 for Snyder. And he did it with a home run. So the balls are flying out of Municipal Stadium in this inning as Snyder also homers. He matches Joe Carter. 2 solo shots, and it's 2-0 favor of the Indians. And here's Mel Hall. 6-3 against a lefty. Ballpark single check. For a left-hander, that's 1-11. That's a 12, though, so that's going to be a line out to second. But the Indians, thanks to 2 home runs, one by Carter, one by Snyder, they lead it 2-0, and they've given that lead to Scott Bales to protect. And he's going to start out facing Rick Shue to start the 5th. 6-12 is a fly ball right field X. That is that is Corey Snyder. He's a 2E6. 2E6. And that is 6-7. So that is a 13. And it's a 17. So on a 2, he'll make that play. Let's check an error. Let's check the error. Let's see here. He's a E6, and that is a 13. There is no 13, so it's a good play. Rick Shue is retired. 1 away. And I just realized now I made a mistake. I believe it was in the top of the 3rd. When I had an error check on Mel Hall, I accidentally read his error rating as a 0 instead of a 13. His arm's a 0, and that's a 13. So when I rolled, he rolled his range, I think was a 20, so that covered that. I did not check for an error, so I don't know if that was really an error or not. I had to go back and look at the dice roll and see if it really mattered, but I do realize I missed that. So if anybody was thinking that earlier on, yes, I did realize it, but after the fact, unfortunately. Here's Kennedy. It's a 3-5 against a lefty, and that's a ground ball to short for out number 2. That will bring up Jay Bell. 3-7 for Bell. I'm sorry, not Bell. I keep pulling the wrong team. Orsilac. 3-7 for Orsilac is a ground ball to 3rd. I've got the two batting orders stacked side by side, and I just happened to grab the wrong one. So nothing for the O's. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and this will be the point of weakness inning start for Mark Thurman. So the bullpen certainly could be loosening very shortly. Here's Jay Bell. 1-8 for Bell against the lefty is a ground ball to short. So he's grounded to Ripken twice in this one. Here's Andy Allenson. 6-7 for Allenson against Thurman is a ground ball shortstop X. That's Ripken. And he is a 2-21. So 16, he'll get to that, and that's a 10, so there's no errors on 10s for the shortstop in that particular position, so we know he makes that play. So 2 groundouts to Cal Ripken. Make 2 quick outs. And top of the order, Julio Franco. 2-5 for Franco is a 1-7 triple. 8-20 will be a double. And that is a 6, so it's a 2-out triple for Julio Franco. As Thurman will have to bear down against Willie Upshaw to get out of this. There are 2 outs, fortunately, for Thurman, but he still has to get Upshaw. Nothing on the D20. 1-5 for Upshaw is a ground ball to 1st. Murray takes it to the bag himself. And they strand Franco at 3rd, so the triple does not come back to hurt them. We go to 6th. Still 2-0 Indians. Bales, this will be beginning of his point of weakness inning. 6-6 for Bales against the lefty Stone is actually going to be a single. So Jeff Stone leads off with a single, and he can run. That's about the only thing he can do is run. He has a 2 through 6 to get a jump, but if he does get the jump, he starts with a 19. So a 2 through 6 to get the jump. And he's a 6, so he does get the jump. So he will be taking off. Starts with a 19. Allison's a -1. And Bale's hold rating is a +3. So that's an aggregate of +2. He's being held. That's a -2. So they cancel out. So we're back to a 19. So basically anything other than a 20, and he'll be safe. And he will be. And there's a 3, so it's a chance for a throwing error on Allison. His T rating is a 1 to 9. And that's an 8, so it's a throwing error on Allison. So it's a stolen base and also an E2. So a stolen base and an E2. And that puts Stone at third with nobody out. And the O's have a chance to get back in this ball game. Here's Bill Ripken. The infield will play back. They'll give it the run to get the out. But it's a 1, so it's a chance for a wild pitch. And Bale's wild pitch rating is a 3. And there is no wild pitch, so we carry on. 6-4 for Ripken against Bales as a catcher X. So this could be interesting for Allison. He's a 2E4. That's a 5, so we check the catcher section. 2 and a 5 on the catcher is a P/P. And that's a 10, and he's an E4. Don't think that's a problem. It's not. So P/P. P/P says here, with runners on base, a pitcher gets past. All right. When using the balk wild pitch pass ball rules, refer to the super advanced instruction sheet for procedure. So I believe at that point we go to the wild pitch rating to see if it's actually going to be a pass ball. And his wild pitch rating is a 3. So there is no pass ball. So it's simply going to be a pop out. So Ripken pops out to Allison for out number 1. And that brings up Pat Tabler. I'm sorry, I pulled the wrong team again. Brings up Cal Ripken. Infield still back. It's a 6-8. 6-8 against the righties. A ground ball shortstop X. That is going to be Jay Bell. He's a 4-24. That's a 1, so that's definitely a base hit. No doubt about it. A 4 and a 1. And that's a single 2 stars, but runners on third doesn't matter anyway. So the run will score. It's actually an earned run now. Not that that really matters, but he's on. We'll check for an error. It's a 7. And Bell's a 24. There is no 7. It's simply going to be a single. But the Orioles get on the scoreboard. Cut the lead to 2-1, and here's Eddie Murray. 1 out here in the 6th. 6-6 for Murray, and that is a 1 home run. Anything else will be a fly to right. And it's a 1, so look at that. Eddie Murray. Do you believe that? A 6-6, a 1 was a home run. Anything else was a fly to right. And Murray, who definitely has normal power, cranked into 1. And the O's lead it by the score of 3-2. So all of a sudden, some life, and Bales may need to bail out, as he has now reached his point of weakness pretty quickly. So we're going to be going to the bullpen here very shortly. Here's Fred Lynn, 6-9 for Lynn as a ground ball to second. That's out number 2. So they're going to try to get Bales through the inning if possible, because there's lefties at bat. Here's Larry Sheets, 3-9 for Sheets, and that's a 1-4 single. 5-20, he lines to second. And he lines to second. So Franco handles it. But the Orioles put up a big 3 spot. Wasn't quite the Earl Weaver 3-run homer. It was a 2-run homer, but it produced 3 runs total for the inning. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. The Orioles suddenly have a 3-2 lead on the Indians. And that's going to be it for Bales. He's done for the night. And Thurman's going to stay in there. He only gave up 1 hit. So he's still good, although Doug Sisk is loosening the bullpen. 1-4 for Tabler against a lefty as a ground ball to third. 1 away, so Thurman trying to eke his way through the 6th. Here's Carter. He homered /trip. 3-9 for Carter. 1-9's a single. 10-20, he will line to Cal. It's an 8, so it's a single for Joe Carter. That'll bring up Brooke Jacoby. Oh, forgot to roll the 20, my bad. 1-5 for Jacoby is a pop out to second. So Bill Ripken puts that away, 2 down. And now he just have to get through Corey Snyder, who also homered his last time up. Nothing on the 25-6. 5-6, though, it's going to be a double to center field, and that might tie the ball game. In fact, it probably will. Carter runs at a 14. He was not being held. Oh, he was being held, rather. That's a 13. The double is assumed to go to center. So Lynn has a 0 arm. So that's a 1-13, but you add 2 for there being 2 outs. So that's a 1-15. So they're going to go ahead and send Joe Carter to try to tie the score. And he does. So Joe Carter comes around to score on the RBI double from Corey Snyder. And just like that, we are tied at 3. And Thurman has now reached his point of weakness. No, he's got one more, I think, to go. But this is the last batter, the lefty Mel Hall. They'll let him face Hall, and that's it. It's a 2, so that's a chance for a balk or a pass ball. It's a 2, but Thurman has no balk rating, so skip that. Go straight to the at-bat. 3-4 for Hall against the lefty. He's going to line it to Cal, and the inning is over. But the double from Snyder, he singled, homered, and doubled. He's 3 for 3, and that has tied the score at 3 apiece through the 6th inning, and that's all for Thurman as well. So now we get ready for the new Cleveland pitcher, as Rick Shue will lead off for the Orioles, and he will be facing Jeff Dedman, former Atlanta Brave. Jeff Dedman, he will be on to start the 7th. So Jeff Dedman. So now neither starter will factor into the decision. Here is Dedman facing Shue, 5-12. That's a split. 1-16 is a single. Anything else is a liner to short. That's a single for Rick Really Big Shue. He will lead off with a single. Brings up Terry Kennedy. Kennedy, 6-5 for Dedman against the lefty. And that's an in-home run chance. And he does have normal power. 1-6 for a home run. 7-20 is a triple. Can you imagine Terry Kennedy getting a triple? But 1-6 is a homer. And it is a homer. It's a 6. So Terry Kennedy, 2-run homer. And Jeff Dedman getting rudely greeted here by the O's. And the Orioles grab a 5-3 lead. And Dedman may not be in this game very long if he's going to keep that up. Here's Orsulak. 3-4 for Orsulak. That's a ballpark single check, which is a 1 through an 11. It's an 18, though, so he's going to line to second. 1 away for Jeff Stone. It's a 4-9 for Stone. Dedman, 4-9's a fly to center. So that's 2 away. And that brings up Bill Ripken. That's a 5-7 against a righty. And that's going to be a walk. So 2-out walk to Bill Ripken. Brings up Cal. Two is a chance for a pass ball or a balk. Chance for a balk. Now let's look at Dedman. I've got to defer or go back to my card viewer. So let me get that back in play and get over to, we're going to be looking at, let's go to the Indians here, and we're looking for Jeff Dedman. So Jeff Dedman, and if we look at Dedman on the card viewer, Dedman has a balk rating of, a wild pitch rating of 12 as well as a balk rating of 12. So a 1 through 12, and we'll get a wild pitch. And it's 11, so it is a wild pitch. So wild pitch moves Billy Ripken into scoring position. We get a 3-9 for Cal against a righty. He's going to pop to second. and that's going to end the inning. But 2 more runs come in, and the Orioles have all of a sudden put in 5 runs in the ball game through 7 innings. 7th inning stretch time, they lead it by the score of 5-3. That's going to be all for Dedman. He goes 1 inning and was not very effective. Doug Sisk, the right-hander, is in for the Orioles. Doug Sisk. And he'll be facing Jay Bell to start things off. 6-6 for Sisk is a pop out to third. That's 1 away. Now, Andy Allison is a scheduled batter, but he's going to be called back for a pinch hitter. They want a better hitter out there, so they're going to call on a better hitter, or at least somebody they think is a better hitter. And let's see who that's going to be. It's going to be Dave Clark. Lefty Dave Clark will pinch hit, and then after he pinch hits, Chris Bando will take over as the catcher. So, but first of all, Dave Clark's going to pinch hit, and then Bando will take over behind the plate. We'll write those changes in. All right, right now, though, it is Dave Clark. 3-6 for Clark, and he strikes out. Go figure. 2 down. Just for kicks and giggles, what would Andy Allison have done on a 3-6? He would have singled. So there you go. My great managing move did not pay off for the Indians. So sorry about that, Indians fans. I was playing the percentages and it didn't work out. Here's Julio Franco. 6-7 is a ground ball shortstop X. That's Cal. 2E18. That's a 7, so he gets to that. And 11. E18 and 11. There is no 11. So Cal makes the play. And we're through 7 here at Memorial Stadium. And the Orioles have a surprising 5-3 lead over the Indians. And now we need a new pitcher for Cleveland. And it's going to be Rich not yet. Although he's just listed as a starter, so I can't really use him. I'll take that back. I was going to use him, but I can't use him. So let's see who we can use. We're going to use... You know who we're going to have to use? We're going to have to go to our card. I don't have any more relievers for them because the relievers they really have available are not carded. So I'm going to have to go to the... I want to go to the to Chris Coderoli. So it's going to be Chris Coderoli as soon as I can find him. There he is. So we got Chris Coderoli. He will be on to pitch. So I'm going to roll, and if it comes up off of his card, we will look at the app, and if not, we'll just go off the batter card. So he will be facing Eddie Murray. So Chris Coderoli facing Murray. To 2-7, Coderoli's a righty. So for Murray, a 2-7 for Murray. A 1-9 is a double. 10-20 is a single. That is a 1, so it's a double for Eddie Murray. He's homered and now he's doubled. As the Orioles look to add on more. Here's Fred Lynn. That is a 4-3. So we go to Coderoli against a lefty. 4-3 is a strikeout. So Coderoli gets the strikeout on Fred Lynn. 1 away. Here's Larry Sheets. It's a 3-4 for Sheets. That's a fly to center. 2 away. And it's going to bring up Rick Shue. That is a 3-8 for Shue against a righty. It's a ground ball to short. And the inning's over. So we go to bottom of the 8th. And Sisk, since he went 1-2-3 in the last inning, will stay in there. And he'll be facing Upshaw, Tabler, and Carter. That is a 4-9 for Sisk against a lefty is a single. So here come the Tribe. And the Orioles, Tom Niedenfuer is loosening in the bullpen for the Orioles. Here's Tabler. 4-5 is a 1-2 double. 3-20 is a single with 2 stars. So it's a single, and now the Indians have runners on the corners. Just that quickly. Here's Joe Carter. Niedenfuer scrambling to get ready. Nothing on the 23-9 for Carter. 1 is a single. Anything else he lines to short, and everybody stays where they are. And that's exactly what happened. 1 away. Brings up Brooke Jacoby. So Jacoby, 4-7 for Jacoby, and that's a single to left field off of Sisk. And that will bring in 1 run, and that's going to do it for Sisk. He's going to have to come out. As the run scores, cuts the lead to 5-4. Carter will stop at third on that base hit to left. So with Corey Snyder coming up, Doug Sisk is moving out. And Tom Niedenfuer is coming on for the O's. Niedenfuer trying to get a 5-out save if he can. Right now, runners at first and second, 1 out. 1 run is already in. Tyne runs at second. Here's Snyder. And Snyder, all he's done is single, homer, and doubled. It's a 5-5 off of Niedenfuer. 1-3 is a single. 4-20, he lines to short. It's a 1, so how about that? It's a single 1 star. It's going to load the bases. So the bases are now loaded. And that'll bring up Mel Hall. Bases loaded, 1 out. Double play depth for the infield. 3-8. 3-8's a ground ball third base B, so that's going to tie the ball game on the fielder's choice. They were trying to turn 2. Just didn't work. And the run scores. And Jacoby will go to third. So the RBI ground out from Mel Hall. And we've got a 5-5 ball game. Brings up Jay Bell. And there's a runner on third with 2 outs. And there's a 2, so that's a chance for a pass ball or a balk. It's a 5, so the pass ball rating of Kennedy is a 2. And it is a 2. Do you believe that? A pass ball has brought in the go-ahead run. And now Doug Jones is loosening in the Cleveland bullpen, their closer, to try to end it as the Indians now grab a 6-5 lead. Here is, Bell's still at bat now with the bases empty. 2-6 is a walk. Actually, not the bases empty because Hall went to second on that pass ball. And he stays there on the walk, so Bell will now face Bando. That's because he came in to replace Allison, so this is his first at bat. It's a 1-8 for Bando. He's going to ground to second. The inning's over. But the Indians pick up 3 runs and take a 6-5 lead as we go to the top of the 9th. So my, how the fortunes have turned. And now the Indians will turn to their closer, Doug Jones. Now, I'm not sure why on the cards some of these things have gotten penciled out. I don't know why they're like that. Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to pull up Doug Jones's Strat app card, or just to make sure that I'm not missing anything or nothing's been updated or any of that good stuff. All these card positions look valid, so we're just going to go with it, because I'm not sure why whoever had this set before did this. I bought these cards used from Moonlight Graham, so whoever he bought them from had some pencil marks on it, which I knew that when I bought it. That's why it was a decent price, because they were not in pristine condition, so I didn't really care about it. I just wanted the cards. All right, so Doug Jones is in to try to wrap it up, facing Terry Kennedy. It's a 2-6 for Kennedy, and he's going to ground to third. one away. Brings up Joe Orsulak. Orioles down to the last 2 outs. It's a 3-9 for Orsulak. He's going to ground to second. That's 2 away. And that'll bring up, last but not least, Jeff Stone. But actually, he's going to be pinch hit for, because they want somebody that can tie the game with one swing of the bat. And that somebody would happen to be, possibly, let's see, do they have anybody on the bench worth anything? That's the problem. Jim Traber, I guess, is the best they've got. Not saying much, but I guess it's better than nothing. So Jim Traber will pinch hit for Stone here in the top of the 9th. He did have 10 home runs and 352 at bats, so he does have, you know, a home run here on 2-4 or a chance on 2-12. He rolled a 2-6. He just missed 2-4. 2-6 is a ground ball to first, and the ball game is over. So the Indians come back and win it by the final score of 6-5. They won the real game 3-0. This one 6-5. Winning pitcher was Chris Cotaroli. The loser was, I believe it was, yes, it was Doug Sisk, and the save to Doug Jones. So there will be a game 4 in Cleveland. But right now, I'm going to pause this video and go get the Brewer cards and finish up that last out in the 9th from game 2 just to make it official. Okay, thanks to the beauty of the app, I don't really have to go down and get the Brewer cards to get Tan Plesac. I can just get Plesac from the card app. So let me bring in Plesac here. So there is Dan Plesac. He was on the mound. He had, let's recap, I had Mickey Tettleton inadvertently pinch hit even though he was on the roster, and he grounded out. Ripken singled, Murray singled, an error brought in a run and moved Murray to second. Fred Lynn flied to right, and that was the second out. And some reason or another, I ended the game. I don't know why. So with 2 outs and a runner at second base, Larry Sheets is the batter against Dan Plesac. And we're 3-9 for Sheets against a lefty. That is a split chance. 1-4 for a single. 5-20 is a line out to second. That's a line out to second. And now game 2 is officially in the books. So I apologize for that little snafu, but I appreciate the person that brought that to my attention. So now we know that Mr. Sheets didn't get it done. He lines to second baseman, Mr. Gantner, and that officially ends the inning, or ends the game. So now we move on. Game 3 has been finished, and now we're moving on to Game 4, which again, of course, is in Cleveland. And we look at our starting pitchers for that game. It's going to be Mike Boddicker for the Orioles and Tom Cotton Candiotti for the Indians. And the Orioles will see if they can't break through. Now, the first 6 games of the season, Cal Ripken Sr. managed. Then he got fired in Game 7. Frank Robinson took over. So this is Game 4 coming up. So Cal Ripken Sr. is still the manager. So hopefully, I kind of like this little doodad here with the card imaging. It's only like $5 a month to be able to have that access. And so if I'm playing a season replay on the cards that I'm missing, it's a great tool to be able to pull out and use. So that's going to do it from here. Hope everybody enjoyed that presentation of the 1988 Orioles opening season losing streak. Unfortunately, they go down here in Game 3, so they weren't lucky this time. So Game 4, we'll be back in Cleveland next time. And until then, I will see you all down the road.